Thank you. Tonight, we have, community engagement with Burhan. We do have today current judge, Judge Cynthia Ebner, who really great opportunity for us to know. Welcome, Cynthia, for community engagement, for Somali community engagement, good friend of Somalis. We appreciate it. Welcome
Thank
for
you.
podcast.
Happy to be here, Burhan. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for you joining us today. This episode, we appreciate it for your commitment. I just want to make sure that the community knows you, but we'll make sure that those who don't know you, who is Judge Cynthia Ebner?
All right. Well, I am, as Burhan stated, I'm Judge Cynthia Ebner. I was elected to the bench, that's the Franklin County Municipal Court bench, in November of 2015. So I've been on the bench for almost 6 years. Prior to that, and a few words about me, I am born and raised in Columbus. I graduated from Eastmoor High School, The Ohio State University, and then Capital University Law School. Prior to taking the bench, I was a criminal defense attorney, and I practiced for over 22 years. When I was initially asked to run, I actually said no. And I said, they can just find somebody. I'm sure you can find somebody better. And then the second time they came to me and I said, no. And then the third time I thought, well, maybe I'll consider this. Maybe they know something I don't. And so I decided to run, and I won, and I ran against the incumbent who was there for approximately 14 years. And I actually won by the most votes of anybody that was running that year. But prior to running in my private practice, I practiced not only in the municipal court, but I practiced in the common pleas court, that's felonies. And I did what's general division, the criminals court, and I also practiced in civil litigation. So what I brought to the bench was my experience and knowledge about not only criminal cases, but also civil. I also practiced in the probate court and the federal courts. So I had quite a bit of experience before taking the bench.
Wow, that's a lot of experience. Really that shows dedication that you have. 2 times been asked to come and run. So you've been judge since 2015. This is really
since 2015. Well, I took the bench January 5th, 2016. So
wow.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that many people don't know the legal system. Many immigrants have challenges. So we're trying to educate more about municipal court. Who do you see serves you right now, since you're sitting judge, municipal court?
Good question. So the municipal court is the lower court. It's affectionately termed as the people's court because that's the court where most people, if they have legal issues, will find themselves. So whether they're in a collections or they want to bring collections, a collections case, a small claims case, if they have a tenant they want to evict, that's the place that they're going to go. If they were to get a speeding ticket or a seatbelt, that's where they're going to go. Let's say they drink a little too much and they get picked up for drunken driving, which we call an OVI. This is the court. If there's a theft, this is the court. Domestic violence, assault, and this is the court. So, but Burhan, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself so your viewers will understand where I'm coming from. On my father's side, I am actually first generation American. My father came from Europe, and he came here when he was about 19 years old. He didn't know the language. He knew nothing. He knew no English whatsoever. And he came here with $3 in his pocket, and he worked his way up to support his family. I have my mother and my 2 siblings. And so he really worked his way up. So I understand, somebody coming and not knowing the language and needing help, but really working the American dream to really succeed. And so I appreciate the Somali community. And I mean, the Somali community is really a strong community, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, because the Ebner has a history on this state, and that related to refugees. We know that, and really it touches all of us because somebody who came as a refugee, no one came with him, no money came in. Raised family, struggled to navigate it. It's a true story of America immigrants. Like that's what you related this community because they story related. Because of those focus Holocaust who came in is related our cause because we can't forget. We appreciate it because that's why we want people like you to see the community who they represent because you assimilate it. You really care about it. We really appreciate it for the kindness.
And I appreciate you bringing that up. I didn't say about the Holocaust, but my father was a Holocaust survivor. He was the only survivor of his family. The rest of his family was murdered in the Holocaust. And so he came here as an orphan. And so I do appreciate the plight and the reason really that elevated me to actually run for office. My father always said, you have to give people hope. And that is the 4-letter word that I always use is hope. And that's what I like to give from the bench. I always want people to be successful. And really, that's what municipal court is all about. It's about helping people, giving education and resources. Our goal as a judge is not to see people again. I want to help you. I want to give you resources to make sure you get that driver's license, how you need to get that driver's license, what you need to get yourself out of the predicament that you're in. And that's what we try to do.
Thank you, because this is a very important because the idea is judge that matters. It really impact. This is what you're talking about. Everyday life, people impact people. And this is a very serious municipal court for the county because that's going to be seen everyday people. This is people's court. We appreciate it. Another things I want to ask you is you campaigning re-elect for your campaign. And really, we've seen many people always come election time for the communities that never come back. For you have testimony. You immigrant yourself. You have a history. Understands the struggle people. You pretty much different than many judges that we've seen because of the history that you coming with a lot of immigrants. They simulated because of the cost that you run into. For you, if you elect again, are you willing to always, like you do, reach the community and open dialogue and have that conversation?
I think that's the role of being in the community. I've always given back. My father said this was the best country in the world. And I was brought up, I was raised to do community service. And as a judge, I am a public servant. I'm here for you. I am here for the residents of Franklin County. And I want the residents and those who are in front of me to be successful. So I'm here to help. And I love to listen. We're given 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we talk.
Yes, I love that. Another thing is I want to ask you, Judge, is what you want to message for the community. They will be listening to this broadcast, and we're going to put it on Facebook as well. So what's your message to the community today?
What's my message? Yeah. My message is you have the ability to make change. You have the ability to be a part of a community that's a thriving community. And only with your help and you putting yourselves out there, it will make the community even stronger. We need to hear your voices. We need to hear what you like and what you don't like. And what you do like, tell people. As a judge, I don't know if there's certain customs or certain things that we need to be aware of, I'd like to know this. I want to be aware. Is there a certain way that I should refer to you as, or if there's certain times that you can be in court, you can't be in court? Are there certain holidays that we need to be cognizant of in scheduling things? We need to know. And the only way to for us to be educated is for you to educate us. So I welcome all the input. And so,
Thank you.
thank you.
I really appreciate it for your kindness, and willingness to do it. As you know, Judge, this COVID has impacted many people. Family ones, loved ones. It's very hardship for everybody, every community. For there is a lot of challenging people couldn't schedule. There's issues resource-wise. In terms of the court referring to giving space to people. Because a lot of time what happened is we hear communities, a lot of them they couldn't get interpreter services at all while they're there. There were a lot of issues that we're facing during COVID. So in your court, how do you really frame it as accessible it should be?
Well, we are lucky to have a fabulous interpreter, a Somali interpreter that I work with on a daily basis. She's fabulous. But if you're not able to come down, if there's a reason that you're not able to come down, we'll work with you. And if you need to do a hearing through Zoom, I'm happy to do that. And I think a lot of the judges are, but I in particular, I'm happy to do a Zoom hearing. And I did if we're not able to get an interpreter there, I can get an interpreter by the phone, a certified interpreter. So we're always, we want to make things efficient and helpful for you to, again, to make sure that we take care of you and that you're able to take care of the legal issue that's in front of you.
Somebody texted me asking the question as the judge, saying, Cynthia, thank you so much for everything you do. We appreciate it. But the question is, what about the young generation? Are you willing to give hope to the young generations they don't have a mentorship, they don't have anything? Are you willing, your court, people can come in to know more about and learn?
Well, I appreciate the question. Actually, I'm in my car right now because I was just meeting with the students at Ohio State University, and that's where I am right now. And I was just giving a talk to them and inviting them to be to talk to me, come to my chambers, come to my courtroom, sit with me and understand what we do. If you're interested in law, I'm happy for you to come over and see what we do. I have many students that come over, and a lot of times I'll ask an attorney that's in front of me if this person can shadow them for the day. And many of my attorneys have always been very receptive. So if you have somebody from the community, teachers, classes, just individual persons would like to come over and see what's going on, I welcome the opportunity to show them. Because I am the public servant. This is their courthouse. This is not just my courtroom. It's theirs. Doors are always open.
Thank you, Judge. It's amazing how you really care about the communities from county. That shows the dedication, public servant you are. As you know, many of our communities really like you because a lot of them responded saying, for you, dedication. Many of them came to your court. Asking the lady, say, thank you, you always fed, we appreciate it for your service. But we want to make sure that, the community that listening right now, we want to acknowledge you and the Somali community endorsing you to be willing to you support, continue to stay the seat. That's what we all wanted because of that show is dedication for our community you care about, you shown. We appreciate it for your dedication. One more last question. We're going to wrap up. One more last question. Real estate. So you have experienced real estate. You're invested. Your family of invested, you self-invested. So
Right.
what are you going to tell folks who really trying to buy houses? It's a tough time now. The interest rate is lower, but the inventory
Mm-hmm.
is limited. So what do you think about,
Mm-hmm.
you give advice since you really have been knowledge about it?
Well, I think that if you have the wherewithal to be able to afford a house, to build income, I mean, property usually only goes up, okay? And even though the interest rates are low, some of the prices of the houses have been going up. Don't be scared of that, because the interest rates are so low that you can afford to hold on to this property, right? I would say put your money into a house if that's what you want. Um, and that's how you build wealth. That's the right. It's generational. That's how you build wealth. And luckily, we have so many fabulous communities that you can, be a part of and look to. And if we have, and Columbus and the suburbs are only building more, so we have so many fabulous areas. I mean, I represent not only Columbus, but Hilliard, New Albany, Dublin, Reynoldsburg, all the suburbs. And find some place that you feel comfortable in, that you feel if there's a school nearby that you want to send your children to, a place of worship, if that's where you want to feel comfortable. I say, instead of, my father always said, listen, we're going to not have to go out to eat. I don't want to don't go buy this, don't go buy that. We're going to save our money so we can buy some more property. And that's what I remember. We never went out to eat, maybe a couple times a year. And we didn't buy a bunch of clothing because we knew that we wanted to invest for the future. And I think the Somali community is very similar to, I'm Jewish, and with this, and we were trained with family. Family's very important to us, and the schooling and education, right? And we're all about the future. And so I say, if you can do it, buy a house, and look for the future for your family, your children, and and future generations.
I thank you. It's a big advice. I just want to acknowledge the community was watching earlier, or put it. I want to make sure that you guys voted for Judge Ebner. Keep her seat, please, because you see, is somebody who's really related to all of us, because we want somebody who understands the cultural competency. That's what we needed, because a lot of people don't have that cultural competence. You have to train them. But that show is the Ebner history, how she came here, related to all of us. So I want to make sure that people keep her judge. Please vote for Judge Ebner. Please keep her. I want to make sure that people are touching you, so because they simulate your costs, and we don't shy away anybody, because that's what we want. We want somebody who has related our costs, our issues, who could understand by legal framework where the people are coming from. But I want to say again, for your dedication, for your service, we love to always keep you your judge, and we will definitely continue the conversation for you to vote. Make sure people voting, and we will be highlighting you to next few weeks left. Please go and vote. Can you tell that the hours now for the early vote?
So right now it is the Monday through Friday. I believe it's 8 to 5 p.m. And let's see, this Saturday, maybe till 4. And then next week it's 8 to 7 p.m. I'm not sure and I'm sure they're open on Sunday. And on Monday, I think they're open till 2 on November 1st for early voting.
Yeah, so I want to make sure people, really pretty much the schedule. Early voting is October 5 to 8. It was 8. Today is 20, 18
8
to
to
20,
5.
8 to 5.
8
You
to
know,
5.
8 to 5. And October 25th, 29 is 8 to 7. October 30 is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. October 31st is 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, that's a Sunday.
That's a Sunday, yes.
Okay.
Please, please make sure you come and vote, early vote, and please keep Judge Ebner her seat. You want to have her
Yes.
stay that place, please, and we'll
I
continue.
appreciate, right, Burhan, and I am pleased with, and your community and the citizens, I appreciate it. Please come to me, talk to me, and I like to learn. And the only way I can learn is for somebody to talk to me. So please remember Ebner in November. And if you vote early, remember Ebner in October. All right.
All right. We put it the Somali Connect newspaper last few months, Ebner, and will be, endorsed at Somali Connect, and Somali Community Journal endorsed Ebner for judge.
Thank
so
you.
you keep it, our faith, and we'll continue to support you. Keep up the good work, and definitely we also have a few volunteers lined up. We'll be volunteering next few days. So thank you. Keep up the good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I so appreciate your support.
Always,
Thank you,
always.
Burhan.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Keep
it.
it. Have a good day.
Thank
Okay.
you. Take care. Bye-bye.